Please subscribe my channel and like and share my videos.
In this session, I will explain you all about SparkAR. It's really exciting so that you can create your own filters. You can have it on Instagram and Facebook. So to download the application, we have to just type here SparkAR and this page will appear. You can download it from here. And for any developer, it's always important to read document and then come and have it in action. So we learn here everything is given in detail actually, like you can just follow this documentation and you can understand SparkAR. Getting started, you are like finding your way around interface, patch editor. Basically it's everything I'm going to do in my presentation. Then when you download the application, it will look somewhat like this. Yeah, your version might be different. uh, then these are some of the ready-made templates which are there, and mostly you will always start a new project. So this is how your project window will look when you start. Like normally options which are available everywhere, file, you have some options here, add, hide, effects, screen. Normally you won't use them a lot. This is a workspace. Workspace is basically this space. And then you have show and hide patch editor. I will explain about it later. It's basically a short way to program your AR application. Then your hide console, it's used if you are using programming. It will give some errors here if there are. Asset summary, it's normally you have one more option to look at this. I will explain it later on. This is restart. Means you can restart your application, you can restart your filters from the beginning. And search, this is basically your entire scene. You can see all your assets, everything that you will use in your filter here, that is there in your scene workspace. Layers, understand layers as a cake. Like in cake you have one layer over the other, chocolate, vanilla, strawberry. In the same way, layers, you have one layer over the another, and it can basically overlap each other. So you can have one thing ahead of another thing. Layers scene, I will show some examples about layers later on. Then there's a add object here. You can add anything: face tracker, plane tracker, fixed target tracker, scene understanding. These are these are basically some stuff which can help you in AR. Face tracking can track your face. Plane tracking can track a flat surface. Fixed target tracker is something like when it sees that particular object, it shows that effect. Something fixed. 3D objects are plane. Uh, null object. Null object are basically used for referencing. Yes. 3D object, face mesh. I will explain about it. Canvas. What is canvas now? Many people have doubt about canvas. Canvas is basically a UI, a 2D UI, which has 2D elements onto it. A rectangle, text. So this will always come as a child of a canvas. There are some lights present, ambient light, directional light. You can bring them to make some have some light effects. Speaker. Speaker, if you are having some audio or anything, speaker will come. And particle systems are very much useful. Particle systems are like you can have some external effects, you can have some particles flying by, and everything can be done through particle systems. And this is the workspace. Basically everything you have here has to be here. And these are some of the tools that we have. This is a move tool. which helps to like move objects around. This is the rotation tool which helps to change the orientation of objects, and this is scale tool which helps to scale the objects. This is like a coordinate system, global and local. What is the difference between global and local is that global is like a fixed coordinate system, x, y, z, a fixed location. And what is local is that orientation changes as per the orientation of the object. Okay, this is like a pivot point, that is around which the transformation takes place. And this is a simulator. This is very much useful to see actually side by side what is happening in your scene, like how your filter is working. And it can be used to change camera from front to back. And you have some options here like simulate touch. If you have something that happens on like screen touch, so you can simulate it like this. Rotate about 90 degree and all these options are there. You can even change the phone, you can even change the size, you can even have a resizable window. So yeah, you have that option. This is an inspector. So like whenever you click on an object here, it will show all its properties, everything. You will have everything about the object here, and you have to change the values about it, change the properties about it from here. Then you have a assets window here. This is like, it will help you to import assets from your external like from your computer. You can have from AR library. AR library here, they have some inbuilt stuff for you like 3D objects they have, which you can directly place here. It will save a lot of your time. There are patch assets, there is audio, there are textures, there are some script packages also. So everything, whatever external stuff you need to bring into your scene, you will get over here. Then you have test on device option. These options are important and come into use. Test on device option. So for this, it's better. It's like you have to connect your phone to the laptop, and you have to download the Spark AR application which is available on Play Store. It's really good to test it on the phone. Then there is an upload option. Upload option, if you see show details, it's the same option that we once had seen earlier. It shows about the size of everything, like Facebook, Instagram has some requirements. So you have to see about it over here, about how much size the filter has. Upload option, library option, and these like won't come into use because library is the same library which we have seen earlier in the add asset. If you want to report a problem, need some help here. So this is the basic interface about Spark AR.